Sup, bitches?
You're watching Fugitive Red-Eye, and welcome to another episode of Red-Eye Responds. Today we'll be looking at our friends, WatchMojo, with more of their garbage, so let's just hop right in.
With 600 episodes...
spin on, get to it.
10. Bart created The Simpsons.
What?
Oh, this is perfect.
Oh, is this gonna tie to the Angry Dad thing? Yeah, Angry Dad.
Couple of stink lines around his butt, and I'm done.
Conjured up by Reddit user Just Embarrassing.
Just embarrassing. Oh no, just embarrassing. I thought it was just embarrassing. That would have been funny.
Theory prophesies that Bart will grow up to be Matt Groening.
No, Matt Groening is already a character in the show. Like, Bart was based off childhood Matt Groening. That's not even like a theory, that's known. The characters were named after his family, and he named Bart Bart because he thought Matt would be too obvious. And then Bart is an anagram for brat.
Considering the show's creator based The Simpsons on his own family, going as far as to use their names, it makes sense that Bart would be partially based on himself.
Yes.
And the globe goes to...
And he said that it is.
Angry Dad!
The Redditor points out that the prankster has already proven to be a capable writer and comedian. Ghost winning an award for an Itchy and Scratchy episode, and crafting an Academy Award-winning Angry Dad.
Yeah, but he didn't create The Simpsons. He's a character in The Simpsons. What are you on about?
Short. Like Groening, Bart's family tends to serve as inspiration for his creative work.
Okay, and?
And the winner is... Itchy and Scratchy, Abraham Simpson Rice.
So they literally trying to say... Like, what connection are they trying to make? It's not a theory to say that Bart is based on Matt Groening. That's just true. And he's not going to become Matt Groening. That's retarded.
Number 9. Homer is still collecting royalties from the B-Sharps.
Maybe? I don't know. Everyone always tries to find an explanation for how The Simpsons make money. And it's like, why? It's a fucking cartoon.
Each trip's a trip to...
Like, I suppose it's fun to theorize and shit. But I think people overthink that. Like, Homer has a job as a fucking safety technician at a nuclear plant. It probably pays pretty well, I would imagine.
Paradise with my baby on board.
Maybe not the sexiest theory, but it still makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, again, it's about how they made their money. Everyone obsesses over that shit. Oh, comma equals homo? Okay. People really do be forgetting that Bart used to be the main character of the show. Yeah, he sure did. The Bart as Matt is from Arthur, where it ends up with Arthur writing his book on himself. Oh, there you go.
Redditor Somewhere Cheap speculates that despite working as an underpaid nuclear safety inspector, Homer still lives in relative luxury and can afford to travel the world with his family.
Again, everyone obsesses over the wealth, but again, they probably make a decent amount. Like, I know that they do have jokes about him not making enough money and not making as much as Flanders and stuff like that. But The Simpsons gets pretty out there with its plots, so I've never really given their wealth a second thought. I guess he could theoretically be still profiting off the B-Sharps, but I don't see any indication of that.
As part of the Grammy-winning barbershop quartet, Homer's probably earned a decent chunk of change via royalties. However, when it comes to the rest of the B-Sharps, Barney would have drunk any money away, Apu's 8 children forced him into a life of modesty, and Skinner seems to be better off than his school board income should allow.
Does he, though?
Is reputation justified?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Number 8. Marge shot Mr. Burns.
Okay, so this one's actually good. There's a lot of good theories about people shooting Mr. Burns. The Marge one actually makes a lot of sense. And that's why, like, she says, I know she must not have meant it when talking about Maggie. This one, actually, I kinda am on board with. Like, it's not true, but it's one that is plausible.
Where is everybody?
Season 6 ends with Mr. Burns getting shot.
The Real Gems actually did a really good video breakdown about Marge shooting Mr. Burns. He's done multiple ones of how anyone could have shot Mr. Burns. Like, there's a lot of different clues that add up to it being Marge, Bart. I think Grandpa Simpson was one of them. There's a lot of different ones. Check out the Real Jim's videos on them. They're pretty good.
Shot by a mysterious attacker, who, in the Season 7 opener, was revealed to be none other than Maggie Simpson. Since then, many have speculated on whether the baby was the true culprit, with one Reddit user pinning the crime on Marge.
Again, it wasn't just one Reddit user that did it. The Real Jims did a pretty good video on it.
As a devoted mother who loves Springfield, Marge definitely had the motive to hate Mr. Burns. During the episode Marge Gets a Job, the villainous Burns falls in love with Marge, explaining why he would not single her out. And yes, we know Homer unceremoniously claimed to have been the culprit in Season 18, but Marge as the shooter is still an interesting theory to entertain.
Yeah, no, I'll agree. Like I said, there's a lot of Who Shot Mr. Burns theories that are pretty fun. I never thought about their money. Yeah, no, me either.
I'm gonna get my revenge, and if I get caught, I'm pinning it on the baby like the time I shot Mr. Burns.
Number 7. Time-traveling Abe.
Time-traveling Abe, that's interesting. Okay. I know that there's the time travel in Time and Punishment in Treehouse of Horror 5, but we'll see where this goes.
For this theory, drafted by Redditor DataForge, we need to take the Treehouse of Horror episodes as canon.
Which
but
they're not.
Otherwise, stuff checks
The
out.
Treehouse of Horror episodes are not canon. They factually cannot be, but... because major characters die all the time.
In the segment Time and Punishment, Homer creates a quick time machine and messes with the time continuum, resulting in a few crazy alterations. With things continuously getting worse, Homer remembers some advice from his father and settles for a timeline that's close enough to
Okay,
the
they're gonna go off this one... they're going on this one gag. Okay.
Travel back in time, don't step on anything, because even the tiniest change can...
But, like, the butterfly effect is well known. So, like, Abe saying this, although it's, like, stupid and rambly, and doesn't make sense for him to have told Homer on his wedding day, Abe is a senile, crazy old man. Like, granted, he was less old than Homer's wedding, but that's kind of what they're going for, I would imagine. And it's also, like, ridiculously convenient.
Alter the future in ways you can't imagine.
This might suggest that Abe is an experienced time traveler.
I disagree.
Partially explaining why his recollection of history is all over the place.
Like, he's senile.
Mind you, it is more plausible that Abe is actually just senile.
Yes.
One day, I seen J.D. Rockefeller flying by, so I run out of the house with a big wash tub and... Where you going?
Number 6. Homer knows he's a cartoon.
No. Maybe there's some fourth wall stuff in some episodes, but no.
Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me! I'm the last angry man, Patterson!
A handful of theorists focus their energy on justifying the later seasons of The Simpsons, especially when it comes to Homer's increasingly destructive personality.
You mean jerk-ass Homer?
Rays of Davies' theory harkens back to the classic Season 4 episode Homer the Heretic, which concludes with Homer dreaming of God and learning the meaning of life.
What's the meaning of life?
Homer, I can't tell you that.
Come on.
The Redditor believes that God told Homer he's a cartoon, explaining why the once lovable doofus turned into a mean-spirited jackass who acts only in his best interest.
It's mainly actually just the writers. Different eras are written differently, so that's what that is.
If nothing is real, then consequences are a thing of the past.
They're both losers! Losers!
Number 5. Nelson Muntz's biological father.
Okay, there actually are some fun theories with Nelson's father, but his father is a character in the show. The Real Jims actually also did a really good video on him, because Nelson's father's design changes quite a bit throughout the series.
Bart, you are a bad friend.
There is more than one horse in this race. The identity of Nelson's biological father has always inspired many a discussion, with some speculating that Barney's his real daddy. Putting aside that Bart once found Mr. Muntz at a circus.
Well, he's been in a few episodes, but yeah.
By Brownie James suggests that Nelson's real father is Snake Jailbird, pointing
actually, I actually like this theory, because I've had the same thought. I'll give him this one, because I actually have had this thought ever since I was a kid. That Snake was Nelson's real father. I have always thought this.
Towards their similar physical appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodbye, student loan payments. Ha ha.
Focusing on their personalities, Snake and Nelson are both sensitive bullies with a complete disregard for authority. For those who prefer their theories with a dose of sci-fi, Fire Robin 88 suggests that Nelson and Barney are actually the same person, due to his bullying Professor
That's stupid.
Frank to interfere with the past with a time machine.
Great game, son. Come on. I'm taking you to Hooters.
I don't want to bother Mom at work.
Number 4. The Simpsons are actually geniuses.
Maggie is. But the rest of them, well, Maggie is and Lisa is, yes.
I just underwent a procedure to increase my IQ 50 points.
Really? After decades on the air, nobody involved with The Simpsons can be called stupid. Lisa is the only member of the family...
That's not true. Homer is ridiculously stupid.
...praised for her intelligence, a distinction that might not be accurate. With regards to the dumbest of the...
Like, Homer has some moments where he's smart, but again, that's cartoon logic for you.
...bunch, Kirby Clock's theory points towards Season 12's revelation that Homer is only stupid due to a crayon lodged in his head.
True.
Meanwhile, Marge has excelled in nearly every profession she's tried, while Bart is creative and capable of picking up a foreign language at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, no, Bart might actually be kind of a genius. The thing is schools are not geared towards boys. Maybe that's why Bart doesn't learn. On the other hand, when they put Bart in a genius school with no boundaries, that doesn't work either, so Bart's probably not actually a genius. Bart's probably fucking stupid. But yeah, the French thing, yeah, he picked up on it pretty quick, but the thing is, when you're younger and you're surrounded by another language, you do tend to pick it up quicker than when you're older.
Incroyable!
With the exception of Lisa, the rest of the family seems to have chosen ignorance over brains.
I am too smart. I am too smart. S-M-R-T. I mean S-M-A-R-T.
If Homer was actually a genius, though, setting the house on fire like that wouldn't be choosing ignorance. That'd just be being stupid. But again, I guess you could be going at the crayon thing there.
Number 3. There are multiple Molemen.
I mean, if you're gonna go on the Moleman, the fact that he dies a lot and is like Kenny before Kenny was a thing, or if you're gonna go on the fact that there's actually Molemen underground in one episode.
Not again!
Springfield is generally not the safest place, but that goes double for Hans Moleman. Whenever the unlucky Ralph Mellis shows up, fans know that Homer is about to unintentionally deliver a world of hurt. Most of Homer's antics should be fatal, but the Moleman always comes back for more.
Yeah, again, he was like Kenny before Kenny.
Is this just Tom and Jerry logic? Or is there something else going on? Aaron 3 theorizes
it's more South Park logic, but yeah.
That there are multiple Molemen running around, and Homer is constantly killing a different one. This is borderline confirmed in the season 11 episode, Hello Gutter, Hello Fodder.
I wouldn't say that's borderline confirmed. This is just a one-off joke. But I suppose if you count this as canon, maybe.
There is no escape from the fortress of the moles. No, except that.
Number 2.
Although there's only one Hans Moleman there. The other Molemen all look different, if you noticed. So I guess that doesn't really confirm it.
Springfield exists out of time and space.
Well, it is a cartoon, and it has a floating timeline, so if you're going by that logic, sure.
The Simpsons!
The Springfield effect is among the more popular and detailed Reddit theories out there. Springfield seems to be stuck in a time loop since none of the residents have aged, despite the...
It's called the floating timeline. It's pretty common in cartoons.
...years clearly passing by in the rest of the world. The size of the town fluctuates depending on the situation, with buildings moving around to better fit the narrative.
Yeah, it's a cartoon.
The theory suggests that Springfield exists outside of time and space, with the characters being unable to notice any anomalies in their lives. Well, it makes sense as any other explanation.
Oh, I can't fit in the booth.
Use the double wide.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Okay, here we go. Let's see what the honorable mentions are.
Pablo Neruda said laughter is the language of the soul.
Bart is as smart as Lisa. Again, I could believe that Bart is actually a genius just in his own right, and that he doesn't really like the whole school thing. Because again, schools are not geared towards boys. That is a fact. So, maybe. But again, I don't think so. But maybe.
I am familiar with the works of Pablo Neruda.
I am familiar with the works of Pablo Neruda. Also, isn't that the same as the everyone is a genius theory? They're the same one, it's just that one's only Bart. Bart was a stonecutter before Homer? What?
It's like a conspiracy.
A conspiracy, eh? You think they might be involved in the Kennedy assassination in some way?
I do.
Now?
No.
But that doesn't make any sense. Why would they think Bart was a stonecutter? That doesn't... That's... I know it's an honorable mention, so they're not going to elaborate, but what the fuck?
Well then, who shot all the gangsters?
I must have a guardian angel with a rifle.
Maggie is a genius, so, I mean, that's true, yeah, I guess.
Number 1.
She did shoot
Homer
all the gangsters,
is
though.
in a coma.
Oh, God! It's always the fucking coma! Oh, they're all in a coma. It was all in their mind. They were all dead the whole time. They're in purgatory.
This world was never meant for one as beautiful as you.
I hate the coma theory. I hate it so much. I'm tempted to just end it here on this one. I fucking hate the coma theory. Every fucking thing has that.
This one almost makes too much sense.
No, it doesn't.
The Redditor, called Hard to Pick a Name, believes that Homer never woke up from his coma during Season 4's clip show.
Okay, that's what you're getting at. I'm so fucking tired of the coma theory.
6 months earlier, God revealed to Homer that his time was nearly up, coinciding neatly with the later coma.
Don't feel bad, Homer. 9 out of 10 religions fail in their first year.
To be fair, the episode does end with Homer suddenly snapping back to reality, but this could be waved away as a dream. The theory explains why nobody ever ages and why subsequent episodes can be rather insane.
No? So, they're saying it explains how nobody ever ages, right? But how would Homer know about current events? I guess people could be telling him about them in the coma, but I find that so unlikely. I am so fucking sick of every show having a fan base to be like, well, maybe the main character's in a coma. Maybe it was all a dream. Maybe they were all dead the whole time and they're in purgatory. Again, I'm so sick of all these fucking similar theories.
Really? Any theory that discredits the principal and the pauper deserves the benefit of the doubt.
Uh-huh. This episode was decanonized.
I'm an imposter.
This was decanonized because the fan base hated it.
That man is the real Seymour Skinner.
Do you agree with
No.
What am I watching? I don't know, but I hate it.
Subscribe to Fiji Red Eye.